Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to drop your desire and persist in the feeling of wish fulfilled. Another lesson in manifesting the Neville Goddard way. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I want to talk about this idea of dropping your desire, yet persisting in the feeling of wish fulfilled. This seems like a contradiction sometimes in the teachings of Neville Goddard, but it's not, and that's what I want to unpack to you today. It's a real subtle difference, but I want to really hit it today so we get what the idea is, that you drop your desire, yet you persist at the same time in the feeling of wish fulfilled. Neville says, when the feeling is yours, drop it. This is the idea of dropping the seed to the ground, right? So it dies and then becomes alive again into your wish fulfilled. So it gestates and grows into your wish or your desire. And then he says, you cannot persist in wanting what you already have. Okay, so he says, when the feeling is yours, drop it. You cannot persist in wanting what you already have. And then he says, if you hold on to it, then you haven't dropped it. So all of these are saying, drop it, right? Do the imaginal act, do the creative act, and then drop it. But then at the same time, he says, claim you are what you want to be and persist in that assumption. So now we're back to persistence again, right? He says it's not enough to feel yourself in a state of answered prayer. You must persist in that state. Hear this. So on one hand, we're saying drop it. Hold on. If you're still holding on to it, you haven't dropped it. You can't persist in wanting what you already have. But then he says, claim what you want to be and persist in that assumption. It's not enough to feel yourself in the state of answered prayer. You must persist. What's the contradiction? What's going on here? Well, the idea here, what Neville is saying is, once you have the imaginal act, once you feel that sense of relief, and you are one with that desire and that feeling, then drop it. You don't need to repeat it. This is what he even says, right? But then other times he says, if you haven't reached that state of relief, if you haven't reached that oneness with your desire, then repeat it until you do. This is what he's getting at. He's not saying drop the feeling of wish fulfilled. He's saying drop the desire. Drop it, right? You don't need to hold on to the thought of your desire. Hear this, because sometimes when we hold on to the thought of what we want, when we hold on to the thought of what we want to be, then anxiety sets in, fear sets in that we're not going to get it. All this wanting sets in. So what he's saying is drop that thought of the desire and then persist in the feeling of wish fulfilled, right? He says it's like a fragrance that lingers. Right? Linger in that feeling of wish fulfilled. That's what Neville's getting at here, guys. So what seems like a contradiction isn't. It depends where you're at. But if you have to repeat the imaginal act, that means you haven't become one with it. You haven't felt that sense of relief, right? You haven't felt that feeling of wish fulfilled. But once you do, then you can drop it. Drop what? Drop the desire. What do I mean by that? Drop the thought of that desire. Drop the anxiety, the fear, the wanting of that desire, the longing. Why? Because once you have it, you can't persist in wanting what you already have. Once you have it, and you're in that feeling that you already have it, you're thinking from the end, there's no need to keep repeating it. Because if you do that, then what you're saying to the universe, I don't have it. This is what Neville's getting at, right, guys? So it's how to drop your desire, but persist in the feeling of wish fulfilled. That's what we're talking about today, guys. It's dropping it, but at the same time, persisting in that feeling, persisting in that knowledge, in that knowing that it's already yours. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kieran, at our website at tomkieran.com or BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, this is Tom. With great love, see you soon.